There are many sacred writings which were not included in the Bible due to space and philosophical considerations by the Ecumenical Council. While classified differently, depending on the type of study, these books are often referred to collectively as the Apocrypha. They are also sometimes described as Pseudepigrapha. For hundreds of years, some of these books were considered part of the Old Testament, until they were taken out by an early church council in AD 382. We picked two for today, the books of Adam and Eve, and the books of Enoch. The first book of Adam and Eve is considered by many scholars to be part of the Pseudepigrapha, historical biblical works that are considered to be fiction. This prevented its inclusion in the compilation of the Holy Bible. The book is a written history of what happened in the days of Adam and Eve after they were cast out of the garden. Considered to be pseudepigraphic by some, it carries significant meaning and insight into events of that time. It's simply an account handed down by word of mouth, from generation to generation, linking the time the first human life was created to the time it was finally written down. The first book is the work of unknown Egyptians. The lack of historical allusion makes it difficult to date the writing. However, using other pseudepigraphal works as a reference, it was probably written a few hundred years before the birth of Christ. Parts of this version are found in the Jewish Talmud and the Islamic Quran, showing what a vital role it played in the original literature of human wisdom. The first book of Adam and Eve describes the careers of Adam and Eve, from the day they left Eden, their dwelling in the cave of treasures, their trials and temptations, Satan's manifold apparitions to them. The birth of Cain, of Abel, and of their twin sisters, Cain's love for his own twin sister, Luluah, whom Adam and Eve wished to join to Abel, the details of Cain's murder of his brother, and Adam's sorrow and death are all discussed in the book. Both Book 1 and Book 2 of Adam and Eve are parts of the Forgotten Books of Eden series edited by Rutherford H. Platt. Like the first book, the second book is part of the extra-biblical pseudepigrapha and not part of the inspired Word of God. The second book of Adam and Eve gives an account of the life and times of Cain and his twin sister Luluah after they went away until the time that Enoch was taken by God. In Book 2, the sons of God who appear in Genesis 6 verse 2 are identified as the children of Seth, and the daughters of men are described as women descended from Cain, who successfully tempt most of the Sethites to come down from their mountain and join the Cainites in the valley below, under the instigation of Jenan, son of Lamech. This Jenan, as the inventor of musical instruments, seems to correspond to the biblical Jubal. However, he also invents weapons of war. The Cainites, descended from Cain the first murderer, are described as exceedingly wicked, being prone to commit murder and incest. After seducing the Sethites, their offspring become the Nephilim, the mighty men of Genesis 6 who are all destroyed in the deluge. The first book of Enoch is more known as simply the Book of Enoch. Although this book is considered apocryphal for the Western canon, it is contained in the Ethiopic Bible. This manuscript was first translated into English in the 1820s and into German in the 1830s. According to most scholars, part of the first book of Enoch was written in 3rd century BCE and part of it in the 1st century CE, especially the part that discusses about the Son of Man. The second book of Enoch, the Slavonic Enoch, or the Secrets of Enoch, is another apocryphal book, found complete only in Old Slavonic manuscripts, and it was once present in the Old Slavonic Bible. It's usually dated to the 1st century. The third book of Enoch, the Hebrew Enoch, is a rabbinic text originally written in Hebrew usually dated to the 5th century CE. Some experts believe it was written by Rabbi Ishmael, around 2nd century CE, who was familiar with both 1 Enoch and 2 Enoch. Various Aramaic fragments found in the Dead Sea Scrolls are proof that the Book of Enoch was known by Jews and early Near Eastern Christians. In the New Testament, the Epistle of Jude verse 14 and 15 quoted Enoch. Enoch contains unique material on the origins of demons and Nephilim, why some angels fell from heaven, an explanation of why the Genesis flood was morally necessary, and prophetic exposition of the 1,000-year reign of the Messiah. The books recount how Enoch was taken up to heaven and was appointed guardian of all the celestial treasures, chief of the archangels, and the immediate attendant on God's throne. He was subsequently taught all secrets and mysteries and, with all the angels at his back, fulfills of his own accord whatever comes out of the mouth of God, executing his decrees.